let me play something here with Mike Tomlin, and then you tell me if you were his GM, how you would react to hearing this.
Would you still categorize this as a quarterback competition? If it is, how do you weight what happens on the practice field here versus what happens in a stadium?
Very much is a competition. What happens in stadium is weighted heavier than what happens in a practice setting because it's more game-like.
He just opened it up, so now it's on.
Yep.
Do you need to say it to the media if you've already probably said it to your quarterbacks?
I think in this case, Dan, he does, because remember when Russ was signed and when Justin was signed, like before this training camp started, his words were that Russ has the pole position, and everybody kind of took that to mean, well, this is Russ's job to lose. It's not really a competition, because you know how it goes. Like when you're trying to get a quarterback ready for the regular season, and you have in your mind that maybe one guy has the pole position over the other, that guy has to get the majority of reps, because otherwise, if you're trying to get two guys ready, you're getting nobody ready. So you got to give one guy more reps than the other. So now, if I'm Justin Fields in that situation where I was number two, you're sitting there, you're still trying to do everything you can to put pressure on the dude who has the pole position, but you kind of understand that maybe the season's going to go the way that coach laid this out with the initial depth chart, but I'm going to keep trying to pressure him, and maybe I'll take the job from him later. Now everything's different. Everything's different. And if I'm Russ, I'm sitting there going, man, I got to get my behind on this field quick, because I know that every day that Justin is taking reps that were designed to be for me, there's another day for them to go into personnel meetings, and I've been in these, where you meet every day as a coaching staff in the personnel department, and you run down every guy on the list. And I promise you they're spending more time talking about quarterback than any position. And you're going to have people, you're going to have Arthur Smith, and I'm not speaking for Arthur, but I know Arthur loved Justin. I talked to him down at UNC's Pro Day watching Drake May. I promise you he's sitting there going, hey, man, Russ got to get out here, because we don't have anything really. We have no allegiance to either one of these guys. So if we really want to make this a competition, Russ has to compete. And see, that's the thing now. This is totally up in there. I would not be shocked in the least. It's probably going to be one of the most watched preseason games of this weekend when they play tomorrow, when they play the Texans. That is going to be, I believe they play the Texans, right? That is going to be something that all of Pittsburgh is going to be watching, because I have a feeling, based on my conversations, that if if Justin can continue to ascend like he is looking in practice, he's going to start week one.
Wow.
He's going to be an opening day starter.
See, I
thought he was going to be the starter at some point anyway.
I did too, but I thought you have to start Russ, and then if you go to Justin, it's easier to go back to Russ and Justin goes back to the bench as opposed to the other way around.
But you know what? In a normal situation, I totally agree with you. In a situation where this was a guy who has a lot of equity built up in an organization, and you know what, he has a history, he's won some games, he's in great. In this case, look, yeah, there's one guy who has a bigger resume, who won a Super Bowl, who came close to winning another one, but he didn't do that for you. So, like for me, and like how you phrased this question in the beginning, like when you said, look, if you're the GM, I'm kind of reminding Mike of that. Hey, we don't owe Russ anything. We don't owe him the benefit of the doubt. We owe ourselves in this organization to put the best guy out there, regardless of how this plays out. And I think we say all the time, the best ability is availability. This is one of those cases where that could be the deciding factor.